The Productive Dentist Academy Podcast Network.
Marketing is about being seen. It's about being seen. Your patients need to be seen. Izzy that day felt seen. Like someone gets me. My mom is saying, no dog, no dog. And here, farmer's dog. They got me, right? That's it. We want to feel seen.
Thanks for tuning into the Everyday Practices Dental Podcast. I'm Reagan Robertson. My co-host Sarah Hansen and I interview real dentists and experts who grow their dental practices using authentic marketing in a way that you can remember, repeat, and use in your own practice to get the patients you deserve. Let's dive in. Sarah, so the other day, I had someone come to me outside of dentistry and they said, okay, so we got this email that we're going to send out to our client list and then our people who are just prospects. They're not yet clients. And that's our campaign. And I said, what's the campaign? And they said, sending out this email is a campaign. And it was to alert everybody to a new service that they're offering. And I thought, oh no.
So much more touch points than that.
Yeah. But it's surprising to me. I mean, no, it's not surprising to me because when you're running a business, you do not have a marketing degree. So how are you going to know the definition of the terms and what a campaign means versus a strategy versus a plan? Like if you don't, if you don't study up on it, I don't expect you to know it. Like I don't understand how many dental terms are there, Sarah, that obviously I'm not going to understand.
Thousands
Right?
of dental terms. Yeah. But the reality is campaigns are not magic, right? It's not a magic trick.
No.
Marketing simply creates the opportunity, right? Do you agree with that? But it's
100%. Yes.
It's, what would we say it? But operationally, that's where that growth comes in. And that's where that happens, is through not only the execution of the marketing strategy or the messaging, but then what happens after that.
Doctor, if PPOs have you feeling restricted as a dentist, but you're not sure if going completely out of network is the right move for you, that tells me that you are right at the stage where having a strategy and plan is essential if you want to protect your revenue and grow. Investment Grade Practice, powered by Productive Dentist Academy, is hosting a live event this September that will help you design the right revenue mix for your practice. At Unrestricted, the End of PPO Dependency live, hands-on workshop, you get to work with renowned business and clinical experts who will help you analyze, clarify, design, align, and activate a plan so you don't have to feel restricted by PPOs ever again. Go to investmentgradepractice.com today for more information and to secure your seat. This event is strictly limited, so go to investmentgradepractice.com today.
Yes.
I'm curious how, let's break it down for listeners today. How do you define a marketing campaign?
Ooh. So I would say first, I think we need to identify marketing campaign versus brand. So a good campaign gets attention, right?
Mhm.
Your brand is going to be reputation, consistency. That's probably like when you build trust over time. So brand, like for Amazon's a really good example. We all know the Amazon brand now simply because of the logo. They don't even have to say Amazon below it. We all know it. Same thing with Nike, right? That's good branding. Marketing campaigns, though, that's where it comes into, did you hear about the controversy from Nike with their marketing campaign at the Boston Marathon this year?
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yes.
So how I
Yes.
define a marketing campaign, and then this will put context around the Nike snafuzzle and the intersection that they chose with the Boston Marathon is
Yes.
I define a campaign as being a very focused set of messages and activities and tactics that point towards a clear goal.
A goal, yes.
A goal. So for example, the client to announce a new service, that can be the end goal of a campaign. So Nike and the Boston Marathon, I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was shocking to me. So can you remind me again? Because I remember thinking, whoa, they really messed up there.
Yeah. So it was very controversial. Something to the effect that they had a huge not a billboard, but like a window or something, some big sign where all of the runners or participants went to either pick up their packet or pick up, something, but it said something to the effect of, um, it made a dig at walking. So it was talking about runners achieve
That's
goals.
right.
We don't walk to get
Walking is
there. So
tolerated.
walking is tolerated.
So
That's
this
what it
tells me,
was.
yes. So the
Yes.
writer did something that was memorable. They created something
Yes.
memorable because after you prompted me, now I remember, right, walking is
Yes.
tolerated. So
Walking is tolerated.
kudos to the copywriter because you created something
Yes.
somewhat memorable. But oh
Yeah.
my word, does that go
Yeah.
against? This is fascinating, Sarah. I didn't think we were going to take this like avenue between brand and the campaigns, but you're right. How far against their brand message of just do it is
Yes,
that?
just do it. Exactly. So
Dang.
when we think about campaigns are about taking action, right? We
Yeah.
want our consumer, our patient, our buyer, whatever that is, to take action. But when our brand misaligns with our campaign, now we got a oopsies in our marketing. And that now is where I think within dentistry, we have some disconnect, right? Our brand is we show up for the patient, we're warm, we're inviting, we do this. But then that's not the patient experience. And that's where that campaign can go wrong.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
there's two sides to a campaign. There's the logistical side, the framework side. And boy,
Yes.
I have a doozy for you today. And I don't know if I should call it out on a public podcast, but I think I will because I got a letter for a 7th anniversary with a group that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
And boy, did they miss the mark on their messaging. So
Mm.
either that or I'll have our producer edit it out, but boy, does it fit to this. So there's the tactical side of what a campaign is. And then there is the
Yes.
brand alignment to the way that the messaging is crafted within that campaign.
Yes.
Okay, so on the
Yes.
technical side, when you want to, we're gonna take announcing a new service. We're just gonna use that as our boilerplate here. That is the goal. A campaign should be a series of messages. So
Yes.
your patients and your community don't all see one message at one intersection and call it a day and it's good. It usually takes multiple touches. And the data suggests anywhere from 7 to 17 touches. Now that's for like an external prospect, but be it what it may, it's going to take multiple touches to help drive in that message and increase the odds of somebody seeing and adopting that particular message in the first place. So for the
Yes.
client that said, I've sent an email announcing it, isn't that the campaign in and of itself? Sort of like you've started to, but the tactical delivery isn't necessarily the campaign. So once you define what
Yes.
your goal is, now what avenues? I like to think of marketing, Sarah, like for a campaign as like an octopus. Like the
Yeah.
core
Yeah.
message is in the center. And then where do we share it? Okay, so we'll share that new service at the front desk in a little, forecourt
Yes.
display. We will definitely send out the email. If it's really exciting, we might send a text message. We might put it on a reader board. We might take out a local advertisement. We might announce it on social media. Like, what are all the areas where your ideal patients see things? And then let's put that message there. That is the
Yes.
logistical side and architecture of a campaign. Is there anything you want to add to that piece of it?
No, I think oftentimes that's the missing component within marketing is we forget that I mean, Reagan, we've had this conversation about Google Ads before, right?
Yeah.
Google Ads are not your end all be all. And in fact, oftentimes we now know that patients and even society is using ChatGPT, Claude to search for things. They're not using Google. My husband does not use Google because he knows the marketing game. And so he uses, right? So again, it's about being aware of how your demographic consumes media. And then those are the different avenues that you can take based on what you know about, which I think going back to the Boston Marathon, like, hello, your consumers are runners slash walkers slash, active people competing in what really is one of the top tier races in the world, right? And yet, we're throwing slight shade to the
Well,
walkers.
let's
So
go. Let's go
those
a
are
step
your
fur-
people. Yeah.
Well, Sarah, so, I mean, if you're in a wheelchair, you're still going to wear shoes.
Right.
So they're runners, they're walkers, they're rollers. Like
Yes.
if you're a human and you have a desire, When I think of all of the years of brand equity poured into Just Do It, it's just do it to the best of your ability. Like just get up and
Yes.
move. And that's to me
Yes.
the heartbeat
Yes.
of Nike.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's just it is, speed walking now is an Olympic sport, right? Which is crazy. So it doesn't matter how you show
Not
up.
that it was an Olympic
Yes.
sport. George Carlin made a joke about the magazine called Walking years ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember it still. Walking on the cover, put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, if your whole platform is exactly what you said, or your brand, your messaging, how you show up, and again, they don't just make running shoes, right? Nike, I mean, their brand is extensive. So, when that heartbeat, as you say, or really how you've shown up for decades now, is now like tilted on its head of, well, wait a second, I'm a huge supporter of Nike because I'm a walker and I love their shoes and I love, and now you're like, wait a second, I'm slightly offended, that.
Yes.
But how often does that happen in marketing? It happens all the time. And so this is where, again, understanding who you are marketing to. And I think in dentistry, we often forget that because
Yeah.
we get really excited about technology. We get really excited about maybe new procedures that we're doing, but our patients have no idea what that is. So when we understand our consumers, our patients, how they emotionally connect to
Oh, yeah.
things, that is that ticket, of once we understand how they consume media, what's the emotions that are tied to that. Now we can start to create a campaign on different platforms that tell that same story.
That is just beautiful. When I think of you, you inspire me when I look at crafting campaigns myself because I can hear you in my head and I see your smile and you're like you pause it to me in my brain like how are we going to share the news? How are we going to share with other people? And I think,
Yeah.
when we use these traditional terms like marketing campaign or strategy, it feels impersonal to me. It feels like it could even be pushy at times or salesy at times. And so putting a human face on it, I think is also really, really helpful in far as
Mhm.
like motivating us to craft compelling campaigns and then, and treating it as that individual message that's going out to a person and
Yeah.
how they're going to feel about it. So we're not going to get it right every time.
No.
Controversially, if you want me to play devil's advocate, all news can be good news. And so perhaps, Nike hasn't been present like they wanted to be present. I don't think it was intentional, but it certainly could be because think of how viral they probably went off of that.
Yeah. It's
And
so
it
true.
stimulated conversation. It gives them an opportunity to say, whoa, we messed up, but now they are mentioned how many times? I don't know. I don't look at their stock. I didn't see if it impacted them one way or another. I didn't look at any of that. But
Yeah.
sometimes that's, that's a tactic as well. I wouldn't recommend it for dental practice. Go
No,
down the
and
negative route.
yeah, and here's the thing, when we want patients to really take action or even from a marketer, right? When we I mean, I don't think I really have told this story. I've told it from the stage, but the story about Izzy and our dog, right?
Oh, I love
What
Izzy and the dog story.
Okay, so I'll quickly tell the story for those listeners who don't know.
Yes.
So, all right, everybody, my two girls begging for a dog. I kept repeatedly saying, "No, we're not getting a dog. I don't want to have to take care of it, mom. I promise. I promise." Right? Listeners are like shaking their heads. Yes. Uh-huh. I get you. Well, we're watching the Super Bowl, and this was several years ago, and there was a commercial from the farmer's dog. And the commercial was this little girl who gets a puppy, and she says, "I'm going to always love you." And this commercial proceeds to show this little girl in all these everyday life-changing experiences. So teaching the dog when he was being naughty, right? Taking him for walks, feeding him. Then she goes to college and she's getting married and the dog's by her side and the dog is with her through all these life experiences. And at the very end, the dog is laying with her in bed. She's now pregnant. His head's on her belly. And the dog, so it goes to the dog's perspective and it's his whole life with her, all so it's like the dog is remembering all these life experiences. Anyways, I look over and my youngest, my little Izzy, is sobbing. And she says to me, "Mom, that's me and my dog one day." And so
Oh.
I share this story because that is the power of marketing is my daughter saw herself in that little girl with her dog going through those life experiences, and it caused emotion in her, so much so that I could no longer say no. And then the next day, I received a letter that said all the reasons why she needed a dog, and she signed it The Girl with No Dog. But
Oh,
so now
rip
we
my heart
have
out, Sarah.
I know,
Jeez.
right? I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you say no to that? Now we have a dog and the dog's my dog. However, I use that story as an example of marketing because that is what our patients need to see. They need to hear themselves in other patients' experiences. They need to hear themselves in you and the team talking about how you transform patients' lives. Like that is the power of marketing. And I love to share that story because I'm always looking for marketing opportunities, right? As a marketer, I like love to see different campaigns that launch for new businesses or things like that. But that one, I mean, was like a kick in the gut for me. I didn't see coming with my daughter actually seeing herself in the life of that girl with her dog. And so that is the difference between a full marketing campaign, like you say, Reagan, of just sending an email, but actually creating emotion and a story behind what we're trying to get the people to do, right? We want them to take action. And so that is the true funnel of a marketing campaign.
Well, once you get that beautiful message locked into, it would be a disservice for you to not want to share that out and turn it into a true campaign. So make sure that
Yeah.
the absolute highest chance of your community seeing that message. So we know that your daughter saw it on television, and we live in a very smart omni-channel connected world.
Yeah.
So they know they're playing that to you. They say they don't hear us on our phones. They do. I'm sure they
Yeah.
do. I can't scientifically prove it, but I think they do. So then you start seeing farmers dog ads pop up in your social media feeds.
Yes.
And then, if you're in a big urban area, chances are you might see farmers dogs sponsoring a day at a pet store. Like you'll
Yes.
start to see those touched spaced repetition messages going out underneath that same message, that core message, the memories you're making
Yes.
with your dog. So the campaign would be memories you're making with your dog.
Yep.
And then the octopus goes into effect. We hit it in the television,
Yep.
we hit it in our digital
Yep.
media, we hit it in our physical, we see it at the vet clinic, like all of the areas where we've chosen to
Yes.
advertise and share this message. I think that
Yes.
is so beautiful. And I'm going to keep it anonymous, but I'm going to share the myths because it really made me sad yesterday. And I even wrote a letter to the organization expressing my sadness because it
Yeah.
was specifically around the message itself. So I'm part of an organization, and every year I get an anniversary acknowledgement and gift. It
Mm.
has been, so this is my seventh, and being so excited as I was, like my family knows when the box arrives, I am going to be really excited about it. And the box arrived. Usually it's branded on the outside, and that gets me even more excited. This year it wasn't, which was not a big deal, but it still said who it was from. Sarah, I dance around the box. I'm like, I get so excited. I can't wait to see what they're going to surprise me with. It's such a generous gift every single year. But the gift doesn't matter. It's not the gift. It's the letter that I get. It is a personalized letter stating the mission of the organization and how much they value my participation and all of that.
Yeah.
So, and the founder has a very distinct voice, very distinct
Okay.
voice. So I get this letter and I have it in front of me. It starts out and it says, "Hey there. You just did something most people won't do. You said yes again." And I was like, are most people not joining the organization or rejoining the organization every year? Is that why?
Yeah.
And I immediately had a little bit of doubt in my head. It goes
Yeah.
on to say, not because it was easy, not because you figured it all out, but because you're the kind of leader who understands that growth isn't accidental, it's intentional. Now, I know you need context around this, and I'm going to keep it anonymous as I can because I
Yes.
love
Yes.
this organization and I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
Yes.
What I will say is, as AI enters the world of copywriting, I am seeing more and more and more copy that sounds the same, even when a founder's tone is entered into the AI agent. It doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT, if it's Claude, or if it's another AI
Yeah.
platform. I just keep seeing it, so much so that I edit a lot. I edit a lot of team copy. I edit friends copy. Like, the line in here that particularly got me is a little bit down. And again, it says, it's so many polarity statements, meaning not. And it says, this isn't theory. This isn't motivational fluff. Fluff is a big word that AI loves to use. It took me 2 tries to even get through this letter. One, because I could tell right away it was just generically crafted from AI.
Yeah.
And secondly, I had to go through it because I was trying to figure out what it was actually telling me.
Mm. So what was it telling you?
It says, let's make everything that you've learned and turn it into momentum.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate that. It doesn't tie to the gift the gift was very nice. It doesn't tie to the context of the gift or why I received it. Pair this with 2 years ago when I received a personal video from the founder of the organization that called me out by name and delighted me so much so that I wrote an email thanking them for taking the time to do that and how much I appreciated it. Again, it's not the gift, it's the message.
Yeah. Yep.
So for a marketing campaign, the message and the brand is so unbelievably important. It's going to be the difference, I think, whether or not you're successful. The channels you choose absolutely matter, obviously, because you want to be where people see it, but it's the message
Yes.
behind it that
Yes.
is different. So when I think of your farmer's dog story, I think about how it was a masterclass in connecting with their audience, their desired
Yes.
audience, so much so that a woman bought a dog from
woman
a
who
dog
was-
food commercial. Like, that is
Yes. Yeah, like you guys don't even understand when I say, I mean, I would tell my husband, like, I hope our girls accept the fact we're never going to have an animal. Like, I hope they don't need therapy over this because I was a non-dog mom, period.
and now the dog is your dog. You know how dogs bond to people. So I love that.
Oh, I am her person. She is my person. But yes, I mean, but again, that emotion was so powerful that as a mom sitting next to my baby girl, I mean, literal tears running down her face. Like, that is the emotion that she felt watching that commercial. I mean, again, it's powerful, but that is the type of transformation that patients need to see with dental marketing. And what kills me, Reagan, is our dental teams do that every single day. And yet, so many marketing campaigns are latest technology,
Yeah.
same day crowns. And that's all that they market. And it's like, no, what else? Like, where is the transformation story? Because we hear about patients saying all the time, they changed my life. I'm now able to get a job. I'm so excited that I can go and have a steak dinner with everybody. I mean, those are those powerful moments that I think we just take for granted in the dental industry that make a huge impact on patients' lives. And that right there is the story that we need to be telling in marketing. I mean, yes, technology is great, but that's not it. That's not the hook, right? That's
No,
a subcategory to everything else.
Do we want our audience to cry happy tears or sad tears? That should be the title of today. I know I was so disappointed. I was disappointed through the night. My family made note of it, in fact, and said, you just look melancholy. And I said, I think I'm just disappointed. I think I feel unseen. And I felt like they phoned it in and it made me sad.
Yes. That's what it is, Reagan. Marketing is about being seen. It's about being seen. Your patients need to be seen. Izzy that day felt seen. Like, someone gets me. My mom is saying, no dog, no dog. And here, the farmer's dog, they got me, right? That's it. We want to feel seen.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to break it down easy. You let's weigh in here together. So, doctor, if you're thinking about your next marketing campaign, you have something that you want to share with people. So I would just write this down, 1, 2, 3. What's the news that you want to share with people? Number 1. Number two, what story can you express to your team and perhaps the market that can illustrate, the why, the emotion behind this announcement that you have? And then three, right, just grab a piece of paper or do a little Google Excel document or use AI in this manner too. Where can we share the news? So where can we
Yes.
share that message? But you've really underscored for me, Sarah, that before any of the tactics are decided upon, any of the delivery channels, what you want to say and how you want to say it matters more than anything.
100%. Yeah. Yep. I
Well,
loved this.
thanks, Sarah. We hope you guys
Thank
found
you.
value from this episode. Drop us a note. You can email Sarah, SARA @productivedentist.com. You can leave us a review on iTunes. I think maybe Spotify also. We would love it to hear your feedback on if you're receiving value and what kind of value that we're providing for you. And until another episode, thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Everyday Practices Dental Podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could leave us a like or a review on iTunes or go to Productive Dentist Academy through Google and leave us a review there. We are here each week to talk about what's possible when you leave your practice with clarity and courage. If you are ready to build a business that supports your life and not the other way around, investment grade practice coaching powered by Productive Dentist Academy can help. Visit investmentgradepractice.com to schedule your free 60-minute coaching session so you can start designing the practice and lifestyle you've been dreaming about all along.